Hello guys, so in this video I will talk about variables. So let's start with the definition of variables first. So variables are nothing but they are the containers. They are the name given to the containers. We are basically storing some values inside a container and giving it a name. So this is what we call a variable, and we will use that variable later in the code wherever we need it. So the basic use of variable is whenever in the code we have some information which we think can change in future, we will store that in variable, so that even if our values get changed, we can just change that variable from one place and all the code, rest of the code gets automatically updated by it. So let's start with the declaration of variables first. So in order to declare a variable, it's very easy. So first what we have to do is we have to define a data type. Like we have a variable can store uh, many type of data types, even custom data types, which I will tell you how we can define our custom data types. So basic data types which variables can store are integral data types like integer, and then we have float, double, decimal, and boolean variables, and variables like enum, class. The class is a reference type of variable. So let's start with the basic variable which is integer, and let's give it a name. First, in the first line here, first we have to define which type of data type we want to store. Here we have declared that we want to store integer data type. Then we have to give it a name. So let's say I'm giving it int variable, int var. Okay, and then after giving it a name, so int var is its name, then we will write equal to, and then we will give it a value. As we have defined its data type is integer, so we can store only integer value in it. So here I am storing 10. Okay, and then we have to end that line with a semicolon. So as you can see, here I have defined the data type, then its name, then I have assigned the value with the help of equal to sign, and then this is the value which we have stored. Similarly, we can store float. So I am storing a float variable. So float values are nothing but the numbers with decimal in it, like point in it. So I can store 10.1. Okay, it's not necessary, but you can, but it's a very good practice to, whenever you want to store any float variable and want to assign any float value in it, always write f behind it like this. Okay, so now it's telling this f is telling this float var that this 10.1 is a float value. This might create an error, like you can say, like if you will remove it, now it will say that it's not a float value or something. So it's better to always write f. Now then we have double, so I will write double variable, and I can write 10.233, and then leave. Now as you can see, it's completely fine if I write 10.33, or we can even write 10.d and then like this. Okay, so I will write like this, and then we have decimal. So I will write decimal variable and then give it a value. Let's say I'm writing 2.342, and then not like this. I have to tell this decimal variable that this 10.243, this much value is a decimal. We have to write m behind it like this. Okay, after this we have, okay, so before we go further, let me tell you the difference between float, double and decimal. Actually the very basic difference in between these three uh, is their preciseness. Float contains values which are less precise, and double contains values which are more precise, and the decimal contain values which are most precise. And by preciseness I mean that after point how much numbers are there. The more the numbers behind this point is, the more precise that value is. Okay, and you most of the time when you will be making some code for any basic functionality, you will be using float only. So don't worry about that. You will be fine using float. Then we have bool. So I will write bool, then bool variable. Okay, then here in bool, either you can store true or false. So here either I can write true or I can write false. Okay, after bool we have enum and classes. I will talk about enum and classes later in the video, but here as you can see there is an example. As we have created a variable script, uh, creating a variable script is like we are creating a class. It's equivalent to creating a class. So here we have created a variables class, but I will talk about this later in another video. Okay, so now that we know that okay, there is another type of variables also, that is string. I forgot about it. So you can write this is a string. So string data type stores the collection of characters, like collection of words, or you can say sentences. And there is another data type, that is char, which means character. So I will write character variable. Okay, and here in order to store any character, you don't never write like this. You have to store it in single quote only. So here I will write, you can store A, B, or B, C, D, S, like this. So you can store a single character in it. Okay, so now that we know that how to declare a variable, what is the syntax of declaring a variable. Here we have declared a variable and then we have assigned a value in it. You can also do like this: integer variable, let me give it a different name, another variable. Okay, now in the code you can later in the code you can assign it a value like this. So we have first declared it, and then later in the code wherever we need it we can then initialize it with some values. Initializing means giving it some value in it. So we have initialized it with 10 value in it. Okay, okay, now let me remove it. Okay, coming to the next part. Now that we know how to initialize a variable, how to declare a variable and its syntax, now there is another thing which is L value and R value. There are two types of expressions in C#, that is L value and R value. So what are the L values? L values are the expression, any expression that is an L value may appear as either left hand or right hand side of an assignment. Okay, and another is R value, which is okay. So another is an R value, which is any expression that is an R value may appear on the right but not left hand side of an assignment. So you might be finding these two expressions confusing. So let me explain what is R value and L value practically. Let me write here. So this is basically a comment. Writing anything after these two slashes. I will talk about comments later. So comments are those lines which we don't want system to execute those lines. Like we don't want this is a script. Okay, so this is a script. This line we don't want to this we don't want to want system to execute this line, because this is not a code, and when system will try to execute it, it will create an error. We have just write this line so that we can have it as a reference, so that whenever we will, after months later, whenever we will come again to this script, we can understand what's going on. So this is a way to organize it, and writing a comment makes it non-executable for the system. Okay, so you can, system will not execute it. That's all. System will simply ignore it. Okay, so here I am writing R value and L value. Okay. Okay. So that is an L value may appear as either the left hand or right hand. Right hand side of an assignment. And now R value that is an not R value may appear on the right but not left hand side of an assignment. Okay, so what so let me write an example for it also. So examples are variables. Basically variables are L value, and example for R value is any numeric literal. Okay, so actually you can let me copy this code. As you can see, yeah, I have to rename it. L value example. Okay, example. So here this L value example, this variable is written on the left hand side. I can, when whatever expression which is L value, I can write it on the left hand side and even on the right hand side. It will not create any error. So what I mean by it is, as I have created a variable int var here, I can assign it L value. Sorry. So I created these two variables, right? Let me change its value. Here is 20. Okay. So later in the code, I can even write int var is L value example. So as you can see, there is no error right now. It's because L value example is a L value. Means we can write it on the right hand side, left hand side, and even on the right hand side during an assignment, where here I am assigning a new value, L value example. This is a new value which contains 20, so I am assigning 20 to the int var. So this is also an assignment. In assignment, I can write L values either on the right hand side or on the left hand side. It will create no error. While numeric literals are R value. So like any numeric literal like 10 or 20. Okay, 10 and 20, sorry. So I cannot write 10 equal 20. So basically what I am trying to do is I am assigning 10 the value of 20, which is obviously wrong. So I can only write numeric literals on the right hand side. See here I have written 20 on the right hand side. I cannot write 20 and assign it any other value because 20 is itself a value. I cannot assign it a new. 20 is the value which is 20 is the name given to this much value, right? So I cannot assign a new value to 20. So numeric literals are our value. We can only write them on the right hand side, not on the left hand side. Okay, so this is creating an error, right? So let me make it a comment so that we can remove the error. Okay, so we have write this much code. Now let me is not this. Now let me print these values so I can show you the whatever values I have stored in these variables, they are literally stored in them. So I will print them. I will print them. Then float. After float I have double decimal and bold. Okay, so it's double. Okay. Another thing to note that is, now that I'm going to debug.log will simply print this in the console. Okay, so now that I'm going to print this value, int var, float var, these values on the console, you will notice that int var, when I will print the system will execute this line, the 20 will be printed, not 10, because in the starting of the game, here I have in the start I have written int var equal to L value example, the value which is stored in L value, assign that value in the int var. That's why now, because it's a variable, its value can get changed. So now the 10 is not stored in it. I have changed its value to 20. Okay, so let me execute this code as I have written in the update. So these values will get repeated again and again. Okay, I will attach that script to that game object. Okay, so I have attached that script to that game object. Now I will play the game. Now as you can notice, these values are getting repeated again and again, but here as you can see, the first value printed is 20, not 10, because we have assigned int var the value of the L value example, right? And similarly you can see all the values are getting printed as false was stored in bool var, that's why false is getting printed. This is a string was stored in string var, that's why this is a string is getting printed. Okay, and now these values are getting repeated again and again. So that's all about variables.